What's up guys? Today we're going to be breaking down the lighting for a recent spot I did for Alexia Maria. Now this spot, I was actually pretty sudden. They hit me up and they're like, hey, we need to shoot this within a week. What's your availability? How can we make this happen? And I should mention, this was actually a referral and how I ended up getting this gig. Now for this spot, I actually required the client to send me something so I knew we would be ready for the day. So I had them go and kind of scout. They were gonna be there and I figured, hey, take some photos, let me know what the place looks like. I want to know where the sun is going to be because this will matter a lot on how we can make this project happen. Originally, client wanted to use his mirror, and the minute I saw it, I knew this was going to be problems. They actually wanted to shoot right in front of the mirror, but I knew this would mean so much more post-production, and we would have to make it make sense because client is going to be moving, and then my frames are going to be around there, and it just seemed like it would have been a nightmare. So I suggested if we could shoot into the corner, having the mirror kind of peeking into frame, and they actually approved it. Now, when the client went to the set, they were able to check the location and make sure to tell me where the sun was going to be, and we were aware it wasn't going to affect us. There was no windows where the sun was going to rise and set during the time of our shoot. The client ended up handling set design, which was great. It really helps me not having to worry about that or hire someone to take care of that. It really helps make the budget more reasonable. Now for lighting, we showed up to this place with my grip, Armando. Shout out to Armando. Thank you for being such a good grip, swing, whatever. You understand the gear and I love having you on set. We started by looking at this chandelier que chale, estaba so bright and it was tungsten. So the minute I saw these, I was already scratching my head like, no, where is the switch? So we found the switch. Luckily, these things were dimmable and we got it to the least amount of light that I could get out of it. Ideally, I know it's typical for people to say we turn off all the lights, right? And you don't really want lights polluting your scene, especially if you don't know what they're balanced at. But in this case, a client actually did suggest it, and I figured it would actually look pretty nice if we just left a really small tungsten vibe going on. I knew my lights would overpower it, and once everything was said and done, I actually really liked how it looked. Gave a little bit of a bokeh, a little bit of a intentional lighting, and some more set design to the scene. Now for starters, I knew I wanted to motivate my light from the left side, and because we were now shooting into a corner, there was a window, kind of like a door window behind our set, and I looked into it. That was the first thing I went over there, and there was like a little hall where I was able to set up a 200x with the cone. I want to say I put on some barn doors on it, and I was able to hit this clothing rack that client had set out as set design, and I really loved this golden vibe that was going. It was set to tungsten, I guess I should also say that. Now in order to continue these whole tungsten-y morning vibes, I ended up setting a spotlight as well to my left side, hitting towards the right. As you can see in the corner of the wall, the room, you can see a small slash coming through. There's also CTO'd because it was the Amaran 100D. Now this was before I invested into more aperture stuff, but just to give you guys an idea, you can do a lot with these Amaran lights. Now for my key, I ended up going with my magic cloth. That is a 6x6. I T-boned this thing and just punched a 200x right through it. I might have been at full power because I was a little bit farther, and it's magic cloth. Magic cloth tends to eat a lot of light, but man, does it look beautiful. I ended up doubling this with another T-boned 6x6. I think it was a quarter frost because I was getting a lot of light leak and it was kind of polluting the scene in an unintentional way. So I just added this kind of off to the side just so I could slow that light down a little bit. Now I don't tend to do a fill with a light. I do my best not to, but in this case, client wanted a really wide frame and I couldn't get anything with a foam core. So I ended up punching a 600D. It also helped out for ambient. I punched it at the ceiling on my right side of the frame, and it also helped to return a little bit of ambient. Luckily, the ceilings were kind of like not white. They were more towards a yellow pattern, like orangey pattern. So it gave a little bit of a warm tone coming back, not insane amount. And also I didn't want it to overpower my key. So it was a slight fill on her face and raising the ambient tone. Now I should mention there was a 2x4. It's not really a 2x4 because I can't fit 4 feet in my van. I need to do something else to it. But it was like about a 2x38" foam core on the floor that I wanted to do some little underfill, but I was way too far. I don't even think it did a ton. I had it on silver, so I should mention it was there, just kind of for show at this point. I ended up using my Sony FX6 because I wanted to get the best image out of this shoot, and it was just gonna be on sticks, autofocus, super easy for this style of shooting. Now, if you guys are having a production in San Diego and are looking for a cinematographer or a gaffer or a grip, hit me up. Would love to help you and support you in your production. If I can't make it on set, I'll definitely connect you with my crew. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. Would love to answer anything. And how would you like this? I would love to hear what would you have done different. See you.